Welcome to the FantasyFootballFirst.com podcast.
Let's be great. Let's be great.
Where we'll hang out and discuss all things fantasy football.
Go rock this thing, huh? Love you, man. Go get it.
We'll give our best fantasy advice, predictions, insights, and more.
Play our game. All right? Play hard, but stay poised. Get it done.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. The show starts with Devin, Rick, and Quinn right now.
What is up, First fans?
First fans.
He sounds so excited to be here, huh? I mean,
Hey.
I'm excited to be here. You got some new get-up on.
I just thought I would ref it up, because they're a part of fantasy football.
They can screw us over from time to time.
Yeah. And that's a little hint on an upcoming thing we possibly are in the works for.
Yeah, we might have a special episode next week for you.
It might turn into a series.
Don't even tell them too much more because they
Might
won't
turn
turn
into a
in.
series.
That's all we're going to just give
All
you a
right.
little tidbit of information.
So we're here, week 6 start/sit.
Before we get rolling, though,
We want to try something new, see what happens.
we never do this, ever.
We want to ask if you'd like the video right now.
Like it, babes
I mean,
and dudes.
we usually say it at the end,
It's
but
usually babes watching, I think, from what
Yeah.
I've heard. But probably mostly
grandmas
dudes.
too.
Grandmas.
If you tuned in last week. All right. One more thing to add.
Yeah.
Devin is not here again.
Yeah, it's just
but
two of
he
us.
doesn't have COVID.
Yeah,
COVID.
he had a test done, unfortunately for him. Ugh. I don't know if any of you have had that test done, but from what I've heard, it's not very nice.
I had it done, and it's the worst. It's the worst test.
So,
But,
Devin,
yeah,
we
he
hope
will-
you're feeling better, and we will see you on Monday, man.
That
Monday.
is what we have planned, that he will pop back in Monday.
Yep.
But I have his list for now.
So this week,
And I will-
6 start and sits. Once again, these are players that we feel are not going to do as well or are going to do better than what we normally would think. So you might see some players on here you're like, no way I'd sit that dude. And you're probably right. You probably wouldn't sit this person unless you have two people of similar value.
Uh-huh.
And then you say, okay, I'm going to sit this one. I'm going to play this one because you're trying to make a choice, which comes up. We get a lot of those questions too. You want to play this guy or this guy? And it's like, okay, well, and then we say who we would play. But anyway, these are some of our start sits. So
Yeah. So start off with Devin.
Start it off with Devin.
All right.
What's up, Devsky?
Into the quarterback range. His start is Matt Ryan versus Minnesota.
Sit Matt Ryan, hey?
No,
Start Matt
Ryan.
Woo! Stop Matt Ryan.
It says Dan Quinn got fired, and when Bill O'Brien got canned, Deshaun Watson had a big game right after. And Matt Ryan still has the fire in him to have big games, and
Yeah, he's
Julio
playing
Jones
to
is
stay on
on
the
course
team.
to play as well.
Yeah.
Should expect some good things from him
Yeah.
against Minnesota this week.
Their owner has said that he's going to let the new GM and coach come and do whatever they want, whether it's with Matt Ryan or not. So Matt Ryan has some stuff to prove. So
Yeah, sounds
and
like-
he's got Julio Jones back this week, from what I've read. So that could be good for him, having some weapons.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to go next?
My quarterback start is the opposite, and I'm going with Kirk Cousins from the other
Nice.
side.
I
Of course,
wanted to.
Yeah, you play Atlanta and you get points. I think the lowest total of a quarterback was 29 points.
Yeah. Right.
So that's a pretty good floor for you. So
The thing about it is, though, is there's always that one week that cuts it off, you
Yeah.
know? Could be this week,
Could be.
not, but we'll see.
But, Kirk Cousins has been playing better. The whole Minnesota team has been playing a little better as a whole. And I believe that we've got some goodness coming from Kirk Cousins. In fact, I'm taking my own advice here. I picked up Kirk Cousins. I've got Russell Wilson on bye this week. I went ahead and picked up Kirk Cousins, slot him right in. So,
Slot him right in.
slot him right in. All right, and you?
I'm
sir?
starting Ryan Fitzmagic.
The usual.
Because they're just letting him play football.
Yeah.
And I'm not against it. He's playing like he's a quarterback one.
He's a
against
slinger-dinger winger.
I'm sorry if there are Jets fans out there. He's playing against the worst team in the league. And I expect him to win a lot of scoring for him this week.
A lot of scoring.
Yes.
That's a good pick. Yeah, there's not much more to say. I think you guys can agree.
Yeah. And I am sitting Jimmy G.
Okay, that's
Jimmy Garoppolo.
probably good.
He looked very bad coming back in. They said they sat him for the second half of the game to protect him, quote unquote. But I mean, when you have a passer rating of 15, Folks, 15.
That's 1.5.
That's 1.5 when the highest you can be is 158.15. And like the lowest usually is like 50 if possible. He had 15.
Yeah,
if you do
trash.
that, I don't expect him to come back and just go ahead and, be pitch perfect right here. Don't expect a lot of touchdowns.
And he was never really a great quarterback anyways. So
yeah, so I'm not
trying to get back to mediocrity.
Yeah. You, sir?
Sandevsky?
He has Joe Burrow.
Interesting.
Why is that?
My sit is Joe Burrow.
Oh, nice. You guys Joe Burrowed it up. I can agree with you guys. They're
going against the Colts.
He says
Okay.
it's against number one defense in fantasy. Yep. And had a bad weeks against Baltimore, so he's due to repeat. I don't know what that means. Players don't usually get due to repeat, but...
Well, he means another poor performance, and I can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Burrow's a rookie, still got learning, and when you're playing against those, medium to weak defenses, fine, you can look good, but when you're playing against the good defenses, it's tough
The
for a
team's
rookie.
built on this.
Yeah, it's tough for a rookie to do much. So I'm in the same place. The Colts have allowed the second fewest points to opposing quarterbacks, and so he's likely to fail for you.
Yeah. All right, on to RBs.
Running backs, baby.
And I'll start this off. I am starting David Montgomery.
All right, I like it.
Now, it hasn't started off too good for him. Terry Cohen did go out, so he started to come back in, and he's on the field for 78% of the time.
Yeah.
Which he's really,
it hasn't been bad for him. It's just,
he
he's a number 2 running back. It's just,
he did get double-digit points against Tampa Bay and the Colts, which is really hard to do when you're running back. And I expect him to really go off this week against one of the worst defenses for the run. Dave Montgomery should expect some passes too, for this is going to be most likely a back-and-forth game.
Yeah.
But I'm all in on him.
Very good. Well, I'm going with a backup running back that's going to get a start this week in Alexander Madison.
Yes, sir. You have to play him.
Yeah, going against that soft Atlanta defense. He's good at catching passes as well, so I see some running and passing for him, and at least a touchdown.
Yeah.
How about Dev?
Devin has Ronald Jones.
Okay, Ronald Jones.
Has had over 100 yards in both the last 2 weeks. Has 9 receptions total over the past 2 games. Going against the 31st ranked defense running backs, and Fournette is still questionable. So this is a Ronald Jones type game.
Yeah.
Against Green Bay. His sit is Joe Mixon.
Okay. That's my sit.
Oh, nice. You guys are not Bengals fans this week, huh?
We've got, wherever we're at, we're thinking together.
He said has had 1 huge game. Outside of that, he's averaged 10 fantasy points every week against the first-ranked defense for running backs, of course.
Yes, I can add on to that. And Indianapolis has only allowed 1 total rushing TD and only 1 rushing over 100 yards, 108, but that was off of 30 carries. So don't look
who's
for
that
much
one,
there.
Huh? Sounds like a Derrick Henry type guy.
That sure does.
Wasn't though, probably.
No.
All right. I am sitting Miles Sanders.
Okay. I could see that too.
Right.
He's got a rough matchup.
He's got a tough matchup. Now he did explode against Pittsburgh, but it was really based on that one play he had that just went for 78 yards that nobody expected. He is against Baltimore, who has 0 100-yard rushing guys this year. Nobody's went over 100, and that's really what you expect from Miles Sanders. So, I mean, he's got a couple catches in some places, but he's not really a catcher.
At least not this year. We really thought he was going to, but he's been pretty
so far.
Especially without all their receiving, without all their receivers, you would think they'd get him more involved. But I don't know what's up Philadelphia this year.
I just think Philadelphia is probably going to be down, so not a lot of rushing for him.
All right, very good. Wide receiver start.
Devins is Brandon Cooks versus Tennessee. Last week was targeted 12 times without Bill O'Brien as coach. This could continue. Only 27% are starting him right now.
Yikes.
So start him, he says.
I like it.
I mean, he hasn't done anything except for the last game. It's like, you expected him to do really good on that team, but this is the start for him, it seems like. The build up words.
I like it.
All right. And my start is, once again, Jameson Crowder. And the reason why I say his name again is because last week people laughed, bro. Well, they didn't laugh, but they expected him to do terrible against the Cardinals, and of course he was top 10 again. I'm not going to say Jameson
So you're
Crowder.
riding this wave.
I'm not going to say Jameson Crowder anymore. I'm going to put some names out there, but I want to say expect a lot of passes his way. He's a wide receiver 2 at the least with any quarterback.
All right, so my start is Nicole Hardman.
Nice
Kansas City
choice.
Chiefs. Sammy Watkins is out, so he's going to step into that role. And with that availability, Buffalo has been pretty suspect against the pass.
Okay? That's funny, man.
And I believe that he should step in and have a pretty good game.
Yes. Sounds fair. You want to go ahead and...
Yeah, my sit is the highly touted, newly acquired Travis Fulgham.
Ooh.
Philadelphia versus the Baltimore
like that.
Ravens.
I have something similar.
Okay, yeah, he's had a really good game last week, and the game before wasn't
Really
too
good
bad.
game.
So people picked him up, but this week I don't see it. In fact, Baltimore has only allowed 2 total TDs to receivers, and I just don't see Travis being a third.
Yep, it's true.
So if you just picked him up, you might want to wait and see.
That's going off of what you said.
Okay,
I'm saying sit Chase Claypool.
Interesting.
He exploded last week with only 4 touchdowns. Only.
Just a meager 4.
And stuff
like 5 or
like
6.
last week almost never happened, all right?
Yeah.
And he had 7 catches last week, but only 6 in his first 3 games. All right, so they really just wanted to make him explode. I think he will come back down to earth and disappoint next
The
week.
only thing is I just heard today where we were thinking
Deontay Johnson,
that
yeah.
Deontay Johnson was coming back.
Even though
I
he's
heard he's
out,
going to be out for this
I'm
game.
still sitting Claypool.
All right.
I think Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, and for some reason Ray McLeod are going to be the beasts of the team. And possibly, add in some running back, James Conner in the mix.
Yeah.
But I just think he's going to come back down to earth. You never see a player
Well, he's
really,
coming back
really
down
good.
to- There's no way he's going to get 4 TDs again.
Yeah, well, you never
not
see
no way,
You never
but-
see the player who gets like the 50-plus point games and then immediately comes back with like a 30-plus or even 20-plus. So
right.
I'm just hitting him for starters.
Who's Devin sitting?
Devin is sitting all the Browns receivers.
All of them, huh?
Says Browns receivers versus Pittsburgh. Landry and Beckham are both questionable. Pittsburgh is the top 5 defense. Cleveland could easily struggle.
Yeah.
And this is fair. I mean, it's not like Odell and Landry have had any, really, well, Beckham had a really, really good game once. But it's not like they've been like great wide receivers for you anyway. So that's a fair point there.
Okay, I got it.
Fair point.
I got it.
On to tight ends.
Tight ends.
Devin has Mike Gesicki.
Start him up.
Against the New York Jets, who has struggled to get many things right this season, including wins.
This could be another explosion for him.
Only started in 47% of leagues, even as a flex spot. He's a great option this week.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really tough with, tight ends. There's probably like 6 who are really, really good.
Yeah.
And then the rest is finagle, fadiddle, for schmiddle.
Yeah.
So I can agree with that. Would you like to go?
I've got TJ Hawkinson versus Carolina. Only the Bills and Saints have allowed more receiving yards to tight ends. So Matthew Stafford has been looking his way a little bit anyways, and I believe that he looks a little bit more this week, and you're going to get a decent game out of TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah. My start is Robert Tanyan.
Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Why is that, sir?
You'll see in just one moment.
Yeah, okay. So I'm all in on this guy with a great red zone scoring chance. He's one of the top red zones out there, like the Mike Evans of people who always get targeted in the red zone. Even with Devontae Adams back, I expect him to play good in a high-scoring game against Tampa Bay. I'm not staying away from Robert Tanyan. I think he's great to play in fantasy football, even if he'd probably get you he'll definitely come back down from earth from his 37-point game for sure, but he'll probably get you safe points like 15 in a tight end that you would want to play. So, Robert Tanyan. Now, on to your sit, sir.
My sit is Robert Tanyan. And of course, we don't talk about this stuff before. We both do our own research, and Devin does his research. He forwarded it to us, and then we talk about it. And sometimes we have same players, and sometimes we have opposite players. This happens to be one. Robert Tanyan had an excellent game with 3 TD catches last time he played, which is pretty good. But before that, he was pretty mediocre, and he did have one other TD catch, but in the very first game when Devontae Adams was around, he had 0 catches, and Devontae Adams is coming back this week. He is the real red zone threat. Of course, can Tanyan catch a touchdown? Sure, but he won't be the key.
He won't be the key.
It's going to be Adams.
He won't be the key, but he will be the lock.
So,
see what I'm saying there?
Take our advice and do with it what you will.
Just know that I'm better than him.
And your sit?
My sit is Noah Fant.
Okay.
I expect the Patriots to know what they're doing here. And, considering that he is the biggest threat on the team, possibly. Don't expect him to get many opportunities. His best bet would be a breakout yard after catch. Some random slip up and he just breaks free for some reason.
Yep.
But it's tough Patriots defense. And we have...
How about Devin's start and sit, since we kind of skipped over that?
No, he said Mike Gesicki.
Oh, yeah, okay, so we didn't. I just totally...
He's so old. Sorry, folks. His sit is Tyler Hickby. He said against a solid defense and has averaged 5 fantasy points over the past 3 weeks. He also has competition with Everett. Expect less than 10 fantasy points from him this week. 48% are starting him, so stop starting him. That's what he says.
Oh, that Devin.
Pretty funny.
All right, I like it. Well, those were our start sits fundemonium for the week.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Tell us who your starts and sits might be. I'd like to know.
And if you have players that you're choosing from that you don't know who to play, let us know. We'll tell you who to play.
We'll help you decide.
Because we are the experts here, right? That's why you're here. You want to know what you're doing so you can win.
Win, baby. Finish first.
You want to finish first, yeah.
And beyond that, hit the like. Hit the subscribe.
Yeah. Like again. For a second time.
Hit the notifications so you know when our videos are coming through. When you do that, these videos will pop right through. You'll be able to pop right up, go through them, and then set your lineups, So, and we do have other videos. Every Monday, we have the waiver wire. Every Friday / Saturday, we put these out late Friday night, but you'll probably see them Saturday. We've got the start sits. And then on Wednesdays, here and there, we do our special episode, which is what we were talking about earlier.
Which... possibly will come up soon.
So, keep that all in mind. Thanks again for joining us, and remember to
finish first.
Thank you for listening to the FantasyFootballFirst.com podcast.
Jackson throws complete. Crabtree has it for a touchdown.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Get more fantasy info and check us out at FantasyFootballFirst.com.